Hi, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today, we got something very, very special. We have Dudley with us, who is a men's lifestyle coach, and he's also a personal brand expert that has thousands and thousands of subscribers across the web. So today's going to be a dynamic conversation about how he started his journey, and we'll be talking about personal branding and how to grow your audience on YouTube. Dudley, super excited to have you here. Let's jump right in. Could you share a little bit about how you started your personal brand on YouTube and how it has impacted your life?
Indeed. First and foremost, thank you for having me on your platform. I'm very grateful to be here. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dudley Edouard, and I help men become a real life James Bond. Initially, I got started with my brand like late 2017. I was in school, in college, and I just turned up. I wanted to just show my life. At the time, I was an athlete, so I picked up my phone and I just started filming. I was vlogging, super horrible quality. I didn't know what I was doing. I did that for a couple of years. I got really big into fitness. And so basically the first channel that I started was like more fitness and health standard, like lifestyle. I scaled that channel up to about 60K subs, but I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of business. I had a lot of attention, but I didn't have a concrete offer. So I had all that attention while I was growing in my personal life as a man, discovering myself, evolving. I struggled a little bit with being my authentic self and just doing exactly what I wanted to do. So that channel, I ended up abandoning it because I had a lot of like attention, but people didn't really understand who I was. And so as I evolved and I made offers, I wasn't closing and converting as much as I wanted to. So fast forward to modern day, I created probably 2 to 3 brand new channels and platforms. And now I figured out the sweet spot of how to be authentic, how to sell, but also how to do something that I love and help as many people as possible. So that's where we at now.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And you talked a lot about authenticity. I'm curious, how do you determine what type of content will resonate most with your target audience? And how are you looking at that in terms of what piece of content you will produce?
Yeah, so anytime that I'm creating a piece of content, I think of what are some issues that I struggled with personally, because essentially a personal brand is you. You are the business, you are the brand. So I know issues that I struggled with was females, was with self-sabotage, was with insecurity, was with speech, all these different things. So anytime that I'm creating a piece of content, I'm looking to help the former versions of myself. So this is why I'm able to speak so openly and candidly about certain issues because I have gone through it. And so I think that anytime that you're looking to actually help people and to lead with adding value in the content while simultaneously being your authentic self, you've got a recipe for success.
Awesome. Awesome. So it's really making it very personal and solving problems and issues that you've already gone through. That that definitely makes sense. And how important is authenticity in your content? And what advice would you give to other entrepreneurs on balancing authenticity and content that will actually sell?
Authenticity is paramount because we're on social platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram or X. If people wanted to watch TV or a movie, they would go to the cinema. They'd watch TV. They're tuning in for you, the creator. And in order to really, one, connect with the audience, you have to show them that you're a real person. A celeb. Now, granted, you might become a celeb by scaling your business, but the more rapport that you could build with the audience by being authentic, you'll find that people start to get fervent for you. They want to buy into you. I think any entrepreneur that's coming up should look into branding themselves personally, because people no longer specifically want to just buy from a company. They want to buy from a person, a face. They want to become who you are. They want to have what you have. And so this is why they're going to you specifically to learn a skill or whatever it is.
Got it. So yeah, people want to identify you. So be as personal and personable as you can. Got it. And how was that journey for you in the beginning, like starting out posting content? Was it awkward in the beginning to be your authentic self?
Sure, for sure. Especially because I had so many insecurities and I'm a rather uncanny individual. I don't believe that there's anybody like me on YouTube. And I openly show that in the videos. I'm a weird dude. If I'm let's just put it like that, I'm a different dude. I had to really own every facet of myself. And that came through me evolving in my personal life. That took time. So if you go back 7 years ago and you watch the content from then to now, you'll see like even how I speak now, down to the tone, everything, I'm way more boisterous and confident because I'm now a complete man. I know who I am. That took time. And the good thing about filming content and just getting started and not, oh my goodness, should I post this? I don't know if I should do that. Is that as you're growing in your individual life, the content is going to get better and reflect that because as you're evolving, you're being more authentic in the content. That makes sense?
That definitely makes sense. Absolutely. So the audience can be with you on your journey as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
And on that journey, how do you stay so consistent? Because I've seen on your channel, you're extremely consistent with the release of your video. Is there any systems that you put in place to be that consistent?
Passion. I love what I do. After being in this space for 7 years, I've seen content creators go. And like they come, they go. People get into this to make money. I get it. You can make a lot of money in this space. But if you don't have a genuine passion to be creative, to be authentic, to help people, at the end of the day, I always tell my guys, it comes down to service. If you don't have a passion to service and to self-actualize and become everything that you want to become in life in order to serve, it's not going to last. It's the same thing as going to a job that you don't like, but it's paying you money. It's not going to be sustainable. So I love what I do. I love helping guys. I love improving lives. And so I wake up every day and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Awesome. So passion is really the key there to truly finding the passion. And if you look at beyond YouTube, what other platforms have you leveraged to grow the brand and what strategies have worked there?
Yeah. Instagram. And I mainly use Instagram because Instagram shows a more intimate side of me. I think every entrepreneur, every business owner, creator that's uploading long form on YouTube, they should also leverage Instagram because people can see you on a day-to-day. But then also Instagram is basically another top end of the funnel process because now you get to display not only what type of lifestyle that you live, but you also get to show who you are as a person, the results. So it's like by funneling in that traffic from YouTube, who maybe haven't bought from you quite yet, onto your IG, and they see, I'm in this country, I'm doing this, I'm with this girl, I'm really fly, I'm really shooting guns, I really got the bad woman, I'm really speaking 7 languages. It's almost like the creator economy, the way it's moving, you almost don't even have to have a sales page anymore because IG is literally the funnel. It's the VSL right there. I leverage it. I leverage Instagram for that reason. It sells for you.
Wow. So do you feel that kind of people are finding you a lot through YouTube and then they are getting to Instagram, and Instagram is almost a little bit more lower funnel? That's where they get to see more of your kind of day-to-day lifestyle today, like what's going on now. It's less edited,
Yeah.
right? It's more raw
Yeah.
of what's going on.
Yeah. And I would say this, for me, because of the way that I brand myself as this Renaissance man, this man that's suave, but this man that doesn't take himself too seriously, I speak about all these things in the content and I help guys overcome their insecurity and how to dress better and style and all these things. But when they go on my IG and they see, oh, he's really like that and he's really doing that. I'm really in the jungles of Colombia. I'm really in a village in Iceland. I really have a bad woman. I'm really shooting guns. I'm really driving supercars. But it's not in the traditional way that, let's say, like a guru would flex it. It's just, it gives you so much more social proof. And I think that, for me, it helps me convert so much easier.
Perfect. And yeah, what are the ways that you are converting? Is it through a link on in your bio, or is it through DMs, or what would you say is the main path to converting?
It's both. So I close through DMs, but the majority of the traffic, I would say, had to do like with links for sure in the bio.
Got it. Perfect. And how would you say having an online platform and a personal brand, how would you say that, and that you worked on for the last 7 years, how would you say that it's impacted just your overall life?
Oh, it's completely transformed my life, bro. It's a catharsis in a way because every hardship that I've gone through, I'm able to speak about the pains, the struggles, how I overcame it, simultaneously while helping other men overcome their problems. And that gives me deep fulfillment, bro, on a spiritual level. All the while, I get to make money while doing it. Not only that, it enables me to live a certain quality of life and lifestyle that reaffirms what I speak about in the content, that creates more social proof. And it's this endless cycle because I've created this brand and I help guys overcome what I have. I now get the social proof, the content, and the content brings people into the funnel, and it's just endless loop.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it's feeds on itself, basically. It's the better you do in your business, the more things you can do in your real life. And the more things you can do in your real life, the better and more proof you have for your business. And yeah, so that's amazing. And when it comes to like the monetization, what advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are building their businesses on the monetization side? Because they might be tricky. Sometimes you can do a video for views, and sometimes you can do a video with maybe more the goal of making money or making an income. How do we balance that? Should we with clickbait versus actually having traffic that will convert in the end?
So for me, if we're talking about uploading on YouTube specifically, I recommend entrepreneurs upload a longer form piece of content. And I say this because I've done my own experiments and I found that when you upload short form on YouTube, it brings a lower level, a lower IQ lead. So the people who are going to sit there and watch your long form content are heavily invested in you. And so by the time that they're going down this pipeline and they go like into your IG, they're extremely warm. In fact, they're on fire. So for me, I would recommend uploading long form on YouTube, short form on IG. And then I want to answer the second part of the question. What was it again?
Yeah, exactly. So balancing clickbait titles versus a
Okay.
kind of audience that will actually convert.
Okay, yeah, to monetize. Yeah, so I would recommend that you just upload long form quality content on YouTube. I wouldn't focus too much on the views. Obviously, we need more eyeballs and attention in order to bring potential leads down the pipeline to convert. So yes, some titles you're gonna have to be a little bit more galvanizing and clickbait, but you shouldn't focus on just the AdSense because the AdSense is volatile. That's not gonna really get you rich, right? Obviously, we're here to provide a service, but to get rich in return, right? So I would say focus on long form quality content, give out your content and material for free. Anything that you offer, any service that you offer, give it out for free. There's nothing new under the sun. Whatever you think, this grand idea that you think that you have that you're selling, I guarantee you there's somebody else in the space selling that exact thing. People aren't buying the service per se, they're buying you. So make sure to focus on giving as much value as possible on YouTube in long form. And then on IG, it's a free fall. You could be as clickbaity as you want. You could rage bait. But on YouTube, I would say focus on adding specific value in long form to bring down a quality lead.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great advice. That's great advice. So really focusing on the long form content there. That's amazing. Also, as someone who's also uploading on YouTube, who's starting my journey there. And I can imagine our audience as well is very interesting into knowing, how do you deal with the editing part? Are you editing by yourself or do you have a team that helps you out?
Yeah, so I'm going to answer this question in a very interesting way. For the first 4 to 5 years, I edited everything myself. Where I'm at currently right now in terms of the content that I upload on YouTube, I still edit that content myself, but I've simplified it. I don't put any graphics or any special effects. It's just me talking and captions. That's it. I personally do that myself. However, I have a team that chops off that footage and they put it into short form.
Got it. Okay. So it's a mix of both. So with the long form, you're editing it. And then for short form, you have a team that helps you to cut that up. Okay, brilliant. And also with the captions, I've seen that on your long form as well and other creators, they're putting captions that they themselves have done, which have different colors sometimes on their videos. Is that something you recommend?
Yeah, and I recommend it for 2 reasons. One, you want to make sure that the viewer is engaged and that you're actually retaining them on the video. Sometimes if you're just sitting down, they might want to scroll down to the comments or go to this. People have short attention spans now. But this is also why I do long form. I want to garner the attention of people who have the capacity to sit down and focus. That's one thing. I put the captions just to be a little bit more engaging, but then secondly, so that they can really digest the material that I'm talking about in the content. Everybody has an accent. So to a foreign ear, even though you may think that you're speaking clearly, and you may, if they're not used to your accent, they may not understand every word that you say. And for me, I have a colorful vocabulary, as you've seen. So I put the captions there so that they could read and digest the words. And then I'm getting 50% watch rate, 70% watch rate. People are almost watching my entire videos.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's really good to know. And you're also saying that you're keeping your editing quite simple and you're still able to have that watch rate on your videos, very high watch rate. So that's very impressive. It's very impressive. So
Simple is better nowadays. Simple is better.
yeah,
I think people are tired of all the fast twitching graphics. People just want connection. They want real. They want authenticity. And the creator economy, I believe from 2021 up until this point, it's been all these special graphic motion effect cuts. People want to connect. YouTube is going back to what it was when it first started. Just a guy, a camera, speaking. Simple.
absolutely. I'm noticing that trend as well. And I think I'm also noticing myself clicking more on those type of more authentic videos. So I would definitely agree with that. And on that topic, what other mistakes have you seen creators making when it comes to community building and growing on YouTube?
I believe a lack of authenticity. Also, if they have an offer, putting too many links in the description, that's going to confuse people. People want simplicity. People want to just watch a video, get inspired. Oh, one link I click. Oh, I'm going down the funnel. Oh my God, I'm sold. Now, obviously, it's not that simple, but essentially, the simpler the sequence is of them going down your funnel, the better it is. You don't want to have 4 to 5 links in the description, 6 links in the comment section. Now they're clicking this. Now their attention goes to IG, and there you go. So keep it simple, keep it concise, keep it authentic, and then have a consistent frequency, a consistent uploading schedule. If you're gonna upload 2 times a week, do that. If you're gonna upload 3, 4, 5 times a week, do that.
Okay, so keeping that consistent is important. And is that specifically for the algorithm or is that for the audience themselves having a rhythm with you?
Great question. So I would say specifically the audience. YouTube is gonna push quality content anyway. For me, I'm actually doing an experiment right now, which I haven't spoken to anybody about this, but what I've been working on doing is creating more scarcity within my audience. The content that I create is so authentic and so raw that if you go in my comment section, you'll see grown men leaving paragraphs. They resonate so much with it. So what I do is I might have a week where I upload 3 videos or 4, and then the next 7, 8 days, I'm gone. They don't hear nothing from me. And what that does is it invites a natural wanting and yearning for me. So when I upload again, those on first, it creates this like scarcity, like people are gonna yearn for you when you're adding so much value and you disappear for 7 days. For example, I uploaded a video a couple of days ago, right? And this dude was like, bro, I've been waiting for you, man. Bro, where you been? It was literally 5 days, bro, that I uploaded. That's it. 5. He's like, bro, I've been waiting on me. Please don't stop uploading. That's the kind of lead, that's the kind of community that you want to build. You want them to be passionate about you.
Absolutely. Wow. So also thinking about that, once you get a little bit more traction, even some scarcity in your content, but also, yeah, that really shows how effective that authenticity that you have is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And of course, there's a ton of things changing, right? You are in the digital space and you've been now in the digital space for quite a long time. I was just wondering, with the rapidly changing landscape for the last years that you've been growing your personal brand online, what trends and changes that are coming around the corner that content creators should think about and maybe adapt to?
Yeah, like we spoke about earlier, I think simplicity is better now. People want to connect with an authentic person. So I think keeping that in mind when you're creating a thumbnail, keeping that in mind when you're creating content. People don't necessarily want to have all the stimulating emojis and things popping up. At least I would say not generations older than Gen Z. Obviously, a certain age group, their brains are already fried. But for people right now that I believe are like 24, 25, which really that's the audience that we're looking for as business owners to provide and sell our services to. You want to create simple content that's giving the value, that's connecting. And I would say that's the most important thing right now.
Yeah, so simplicity, really.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to add this. Also, a community. We have been in a trend as of the last 7 8 years of, I'll give an example. If you're an entrepreneur that's selling information, course, a skill set, something that you have to offer, I believe that the days are shifting from where you just sell a course one time and that's it. People want community. So you're seeing a trend now in community building, paid communities. And I believe that this is important because one, you're able to hold your client more, how can I word it? You're able to get better results and be more accountable. So people want to be a part of a group and not just get sold one time. Also, you're able to ensure that they get even more success when you're continually adding value to them. But not only that, on the back end for the actual coach or entrepreneur, you're able to create sustainable income reoccurring every single month, as opposed to just getting a one sale. Now you have to go out and hunt for another client and lead. So it's a win-win. The person that you're serving, they get a consistent community and tribe that they can all grow from and improve. But you as the entrepreneur, you now have stable reoccurring income. So I've seen recently in this last year, the business model of reoccurring revenue, it's so important now and it's definitely trending.
Wow. Awesome advice. Really good advice. And for someone that has a skill, just like you mentioned, or a business, and it's getting started, what would your advice be on how to get started and how they should think about their content? For example, if they have a skill, that might be a software engineer or even a marketer, and they're looking to get maybe more higher paying clients. So clients that are paying maybe 3 to 4 to 5 grand a month. What would your advice be there? Would you still say that if someone is looking for more B2B and corporate clients, that they keep it very simple and authentic and raw? Or would you more focus on production, having big production and more corporate looking type of content?
Excellent question. So that's a very complex question. I'm going to pick it apart one layer at a time. Now, I believe that for one, leading with value is number one. It doesn't necessarily matter how you package it. Leading with value, you're going to be able to close a certain amount of lead. Now, if we're talking about between B2B and B2C, with B2B, obviously you have to be a little bit more quote unquote corporate and like professional. However, so long as you're creating content that's concise, you're adding the value, you have a clear CTA, and you have enough eyeballs and you've showed social proof, you're going to convert. Now, when we're talking about B2C, you're going to have to be a little bit more unhinged and raw, being that it's a regular consumer. So you can curse a little bit, right? For B2B, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But it's all about keeping your ideal lead and client in mind when you're creating the content, which leads me into my next point. Any piece of content that you put out, you need to think about the potential lead and person that you're going to be helping before you create it. Every video you upload is a VSL. Every video you upload is an asset. It's something to garner attention, but not just get attention from the specific lead that you have. So one of the reasons, as I spoke about earlier, I create long form still shot photo is to pre-qualify my lead early in the journey. I'm making videos where you have to sit down and consume the material. I don't want a sporadic, neurotic lead. This is typically a little kid who doesn't have any capital. So all of this ties into you being able to qualify and get the best quality of leads, whether it's B2B, B2C. Before you push upload, think about, am I speaking to the specific client that I want to enter into my program, ecosystem, etc.?
Very good advice. So really starting with the end in mind there.
Yep. And I made a video titled that exactly. A man has to think about the end in the beginning.
Perfect, perfect. And I'm also curious, what role do collaborations and partnerships play in expanding your reach?
Yeah, so I think that they certainly have their place. Anytime that you're collaborating with a similar creator or business in your space, it's something that's going to benefit the both of you. Being that if you have a decent amount of subscribers or whatever, I believe that you can get the attention from their audience and vice versa. So I think that's definitely beneficial, but also creating relationships in this space is paramount, because there might be guys who are doing certain numbers and figures, or that has a certain piece of knowledge that you just don't know. You might have been stuck at a specific level and plateau, and you're watching all these videos and they're trying to do everything by yourself. But now that you made that connection, you're able to elevate as well. So I think that is beneficial.
Awesome. It's also something to keep in mind. And yeah, just some final thoughts here. What key advice would you give to or to people in general that might be stuck in a job that they hate, or entrepreneurs that are looking to grow their personal brand and generate a substantial income and have more freedom?
I would say that to anybody watching this right now, you have a unique perspective, a unique journey that you've gone through, things that you've already overcame. And even if you're not on level 10, you might be on level 3 or 4, meaning you can help level 3, 2, and 1. You're already equipped to lead. That being said, put your ego aside, put your insecurities aside, and just upload. If you have a job right now that you do not like, you already have a skill set. Leverage your skill set by freelancing, get started that way, acquire capital as you're building your brand online. As you're building your brand online, you're getting more, you're offering service, you're getting better, and you're getting testimonials and social proof. Leverage that as much as possible, and it becomes a flywheel. As you're getting better, you're getting people results. You can leverage those results to grow your empire. I would say starting is the first thing. Just literally turn on the camera, be authentic, be raw, because that's what's attracting people. Think about your ideal client and lead in the beginning, and you've got a recipe for success. This is exactly what I teach my guys. It's exactly what I've done and what I continue to do.
Perfect. Great recipe there. Very good advice. And how can guys get in touch with you? How can people reach out to you and learn more about you and see your content?
So you can find me on YouTube at Dudley J. Edouard. That's DUDLEY JEDOUARD. You can also find me on Instagram at Dudley_E, as well as school.com, modern day Renaissance man. This is my private group where I'm helping guys literally become real life James Bond. We master all things mindset, masculinity, language, travel, how to actually garner attention from women that you want. Guys, I won't even have to say everything right here. Once you come in the community, you'll see exactly what it's about. We are changing lives, so I'm super excited about that.
Awesome, Dudley. And yeah, and I can attest to everyone that Dudley is an awesome person. We actually met and hung out in person. Definitely check him out. Great content and amazing content creators. Dudley, thank you so much for all the advice and all the gems on how we can grow our personal brand. And yeah, we just really appreciate you talking to us today and sharing so much of what you've learned so far. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And likewise, brother, again, thank you for having me on your platform. And I'm excited to see how you grow and skyrocket. I've seen you implement the advice that I'm giving you in real time. And I really love to see you thrive and finally have autonomy over your life. There's no better feeling than being free, being on purpose, doing what you love while helping people. Man, I'm so happy to see that, brother.
Thank you so much, Dudley. Talk to you soon.